lovelies, it's Dawnny P here, and welcome to my video and my YouTube channel today. So what have we got to share? Well, it's the Tonic Studios Stamp Club number 6, and this is called Compassion and Poppies. It's a fantastic little set. I cannot tell you how much I've enjoyed making the samples for this. Honestly, it's absolutely amazing. So what we'll do, we'll have a little look at what we're getting, and then we'll have a look at some cards, and then we'll make a card at the end. So start with the stamps. You get stamps and dies. So the stamps, you've got obviously poppies, you've got sentiments and leaves. So this is quite a decent size, this one. You know, you wouldn't really need an awful lot else on your card. It's a really, really good focal point. So you've got that one. You've got some leaves. I'm sorry, mine have been used. I cringe really when I look at the other girls' videos and everything's nice and pristine. I just couldn't wait to ink these up. So mine's been used, as you can probably tell. So you've got your leaves. Then you've got a stem, a stalk here. Also, I mean, you could use that to make a background with just sort of like stripes if you wanted. You've got a set of poppies here, very, very easy to colour. So if you're nervous about colouring, that's really easy to do. Just little dots of colour. What else have we got? We've got some smaller flowers here. And of course there's dies to go with those. We'll have a look at those in a second. And we've got 6 really nice sentiments. We've got at this difficult time, thinking of you, warm birthday wishes, keeping you in my heart, I'm so sorry for your loss, sending the biggest hug your way. And you know, you can mix and match these. So you could put keeping you in my heart at this difficult time, thinking of you at this difficult time. I mean, you know, you can just play around with them, and it's quite easy to, you know, sort of separate the words. And I'll show you how an easy way to do that when we put the card together at the end. So those are the stamps. So let's have a little look at the dies. These dies are fantastic. Firstly, I'll just show you these. You're getting 3 rectangles here, which make a nice mat for those, but also you can create frames with them. So you could do one with a narrow frame there. You could do one that's a little bit wider. They're really nice, always useful to have. Then we've got our dies for our stamps. These are so easy to line up. So we've got that one there. We've got this one here. So you can cut those out, stamp them and cut them out separately, and then sort of layer one on top of the other if you wanted, or just use, you know, if you just wanted that little bit there. You've got 2 twigs here. I can lift them up and I'll show you. Stems, not twigs, although they would work for twigs. So you can cut those out, and then you can use your poppies to, you know, sort of make branches of poppies. I don't know, I'm not a horticultural person, so I don't really know what you call them, but a collection of poppies. Then you've got this one here, which will cut out this really cute one here. Then you've got your leaves, one each for a large one and a small one. And when I cut these out, I thought, you know, these would be really good for Christmas, you know, for sort of layering up for your wreaths and everything. They're fabulous, those. And then you've got all these little individual ones which cut out your little flower dies. So, sorry, flower stamps, beg your pardon. So that's the product. What we'll do now, we'll have a little look at some samples, and I'll see you back in a second. Okay, so some of the leaves that we're going to be using in the set, they're sort of two different colours, if you can see those. Obviously, if you've got two different colour ink pads, that's fine. But if you haven't, I'll show you what you can do. So I'm just going to show you briefly with this one here. I'm using my stamping platform and I'm using Safari Green. This is a Nuvo hybrid ink pad. So I won't talk about how you use the stamp platform, but if you haven't got one, this is a need, okay? So we're going to put our stamp on there and we're going to ink it up. And I'm just hoping that I'm not going to wobble the table. Okay, so we're going to stamp that like that. And there it is, beautifully stamped. Now, if I take this and carefully put it down there, whoops, and I stamp it again, because there's still ink on there, you're going to get a faint impression. So you can use that with your die and you can cut those out and you're going to get your variegated leaves like that. One darker and one lighter. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so we're on to the next bit and this is stamping out the flowers. So obviously you can stamp them onto your card and you can colour them with your pens and your pencils, you can do that. But if you want, if you're in a bit of a rush, for example, or you're not very confident with your colouring, this is another way that you can do it. So what I've got here, I've got two pieces of card on my stamp platform. I've got just normal bog standard red card there, and I've got a piece of watercolour card here, which I've spritzed and I've used it with some shimmer powder in Catherine wheel. So what I've done, I've spritzed the watercolour card with some water. I've added a good helping of the shimmer powder, and then where it's sort of clumped together, I've got a paper towel and I've rubbed it into the card and then I've let it dry. So you've got sort of different patchy colour here. You've got paler here, darker here, and that will give you a really nice effect on your poppies because you've got a bit of light and shade going on. So or let's do one in, let's get another one and I'll show you the difference. So we'll stamp one on that card and we'll stamp one on this watercolour card. So let's line those up. And then I'm going to use my Black Shadow hybrid ink. If you've not used this ink, it's absolutely amazing because it doesn't really matter if you use watercolour or alcohol. The watercolour won't bleed and neither will the alcohol. It's my go-to ink. So I'm going to press those down, and again I'm going to try so hard not to jog the table. So you can see you've got two sort of different effects there. This is far more vibrant, more sort of poppy red, if you will. Let's put it like that, then you can really see it. See, that's a really deep red. I think it's lovely. And then this one is, you know, just your normal red card. So then you would cut those out. Now also you can take a paintbrush if you wanted to add a little bit of a few highlights, for example. You can wet your paintbrush, and because this is water based, you can sort of just give it a slight wash where you want the paler colour to be, and it just looks like you've done some highlighting with your pens. So that's another way of doing it. Or you can take maybe a cotton bud or something, dip it in a little bit of water, and you're just lifting the ink off the card, really. So that's how I did the flowers. Okay, we'll go on to the next bit. Okay, so we'll look at the sentiment now. The sentiment I've chosen is sending the biggest hug your way. So obviously it's kind of long, and if the space you've got isn't that long, you can sort of put it into two halves. Now you can, if you want, stamp it all and then chop it. But if you wanted a nice border either end, that's not going to work. So I'll show you an easy way to do this. So let's line it up and put it on our paper. Now, you want some masking tape. Oops. And what you're going to do is, if we do send in the biggest first, I want to mask off Hugs Your Way. So I'm going to cover that bit over like that. Have a look there, can you see? So anything above from that side is sort of covered over. So now if I just do that, and even if it goes onto there, it doesn't matter, because we're going to take this tape off now like that, and we're going to stamp it like so. So send in the biggest. So you could then cut that out and you could have a nice border either side. So let me just clean my stamp and we'll do the rest of it. So now we've done that bit, we want Hugs Your Way, or Hug Your Way, not hugs. So let's put that on there again. And we're just really going to reverse the thing. I want to cover that bit up now, the first bit up. So again, we want some masking tape, and I'm going to put it, it's hard to see with this light, there we go, I think that's got it. Cover that up, that's it. And then we just ink that there, remove our tape and stamp. Okay, so now we can chop those up, and I'll show you the ones I've actually done. We've got Send in the Biggest and Hug Your Way. So they've both got a nice little border, so you can have them, you know, sort of like that, have them however you want. So that's an easy way to sort of chop up the words, if you will. Okay, let's go on to the next bit. Okay, so it's now is the time where we're going to put all those things together. So what I've got here, I've got a collection of the Poppies, which you saw me stamping. I've got a collection of the first and second generation stamped and die cut leaves. I've got my sentiment, which I've chopped up. I've got my little black and white gingham bow, and I've got some frames which I used the largest and the next size down dies here to create little narrow frames, and I've done 3 of those. Okay, so let's put this together. So what I'm going to do first, this is I'll put the measurements, I think it's 4.5, this is a 6 by 6 card, and I've just basically chopped a bit off the bottom and on the side, but we'll put the measurements at the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I want those to be a little bit mismatched, a little bit mismatched, if I can only say it, and probably something like this. So let's go ahead and stick this down. Now I'm using my deluxe adhesive, of course, but I've decanted it into one of these little bottles because this is quite fine. And whoops a daisy, I just don't want the glue all over the place, so let's just add that on here. Whoops, like so. So the first one I'm going to put down kind of central, but it doesn't really matter because we want these a bit skew-wifty. That's that one, and then we'll have the next one. Like so. All the way around. I'm going to put that just like that. I'm just going to grab a piece of kitchen roll to wipe that glue. That's it. Get rid of the excess glue, and then the last one. We'll have you sort of like that. So you're kind of making a scribble frame, I suppose. So that's the beauty of these. I mean, if you didn't want this, you could just cut out one frame, I suppose, but I kind of like the idea of having 3 narrow ones. And I'll put you like, oh, how should we have this? Yeah, like that. That'll be fine. Okay, let's give this a press down and wipe that glue off. Now the next bit is where you get to have a play. Okay, so what I want is, I want some leaves on first, and I'm going to put them here and here. So we start off with, I'm just going to place them to start with. So there's a little doggy outside having a yap. You can hear that. Let's put you like that. See what I mean about these for Christmas? I think they'd be great. And put you there. And put you. That'll do it. So a good idea is, if you're happy with your layout, take a picture. Get your smartphone and take a picture, and that way you don't have to remember what you've done. Okay, so I'm going to stick these down now. Oops. Bit of glue. So I think we were about here. And I want that end just to sort of stick up a little bit. And then we'll have the next one. Like so. And then the next one will go here. And then we'll go up the side. So we've got a little bit of movement with those leaves there. Now we'll start at the top here and we'll put a darker one on. And you can go about here. Then we'll have a lighter one going out to the side, I think. You can go like so. And then finally we'll have him like that. So that's quite a nice effect, isn't it? And you can, as I say, if you cut a load of these out, you can make a lovely wreath with them. Have you like that? There we go. That ribbon's going to cover over what's going on there. Now it's time for our poppies. So what I want to do is just have a little play with where these are going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, a large one here. I like to have an odd number. That'll do. That'll be nice like that. You can use your foam pads for these if you want. I'm just going to use a bit of glue to stick them down. So I'm going to grab my tweezers. Like so. And try not to squash the leaves that you've already sort of added. And then that's going to go, I need to remember that that's going to go here. So that needs to go, yeah, that's fine. You could go here like so. Pop him in there like that, and then we'll pop him in like that. That's it. You could put more on if you wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Do we want another small one? No, I think we'll stop at 5. Okay. so that's that. Now we're going to put our sentiments on, and I want these to be raised, so I'm going to put these on some foam pads. I'm just going to cut myself 2 strips like so. Let's move you out of the way, then you can actually see what I'm doing. And then this one here. Like that. Take the tape off. Add a bit of glue. Oops, a daisy. There we go. And we'll put him here, like so. And then should we have you there, or should we have, I think I'll have it like that. Whoops, or more fingers and thumbs today. And there's that, like so. Now the only thing I've got to do is stick my bow down, and we're done. I'll find the end of the tape, and again, you know, you can use your double-sided, your hot glue gun if you wanted, but once again, Dawny hasn't switched it on. So let's get my pokey tool for this. Take this backing tape off. There we go. Oh, I don't believe it, it's behaved itself. We'll cover all the workings out there. Move all the stuff out of the way. And there's our card done. And it's a really sweet card. So, I mean, that would cover a multitude of sins, wouldn't it, that? Sending the biggest hug your way. You could use it for birthdays, just to say I'm thinking about you, which, you know, at these weird times, I mean, that would be smashing for that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video today, and I'll be back with another one very soon. You take care now and stay safe. Bye.